What it do, what the business is. So, I don't know if I said it on my first video or not, but I'm currently in my master's program for my master's in library and information science. I'm about halfway through, a little bit more than that. So this particular class has piqued my interest. We actually just started yesterday, and this class is research methods. Well, the name of this book is Research Methods in Library and Information Science, and just knowing who I am and things like that. Most of y'all don't know me. So I'm a researcher. I've been a self-proclaimed philosopher for most of my life. I wrote my first philosophy of life when I was 16 years old. Um, I've studied pretty much every major religion out there. You know, I used it as a means to cope with my father's death when I was younger, and you know, my, one of my father's last words to me were, "Be someone who makes me proud and study." And I believe that that had a lot to do with the trajectory of my life. So that's what I'm doing. And you know, one of the main things that has my interest is the literacy rates within the Black community. Why are they so low? And it's not so much. I mean, we have to understand the why to a degree. Well, but my focus is more so how are we going to fix it. I think it's too many people that's intellectualizing problems that we're not actually getting to the root of the problems, or even getting to into the vestibule of even finding a solution to the problem. I think problem articulation is so much of a genre, so much of a, I don't know, but there's so much comfort in just the problem articulation that the actual attempt to find a solution to the problem is left neglected, unfortunately. And I'm not with that. So you know so scholarship on literacy is a big thing. Even considering to getting my PhD or second master's in language and literacy. We'll see how that goes. I want to study so much and learn so many things. But I mean, you know, there's a lot of things I could do on my own. But I got to see which path am I going to take on the formal education side. You know, to navigate to certain areas and arenas and things like that. But yeah, I can, if I were to win the lottery or something like that, I would spend a lot of my time reading and study. I would have the flyest study too, by the way, flyest. But yeah. So right now, I'm going through like different research methods. These things are going to help me later, you know, in the future as well. So I'm gonna take keen responsibility uh, and attention on this particular course. And it's going through the basics. You know, certain things that we already know. They did give me a better definition of applied versus basic research, and I was more so looking at the definitions of applied and basic because you know the institution that I am creating, the MOA Academy of Applied Philosophy. You know, I had a definition of applied in my mind, and I believe it correlated with the one they had here, but to see what the um, definition standard is, you know, it's always good to know. It's like a lot of young brothers and sisters and things like that want to be want to be revolutionary minded to such a degree that you don't understand what is in place right now. You have to understand what's in place right now to be able to navigate either around it, through it, against it, whatever it is that you choose to do. But you got to know what it is. Um, um, Yeah. So applied is more specific, dealing with the solution is limited to a problem. So as I go forward and consider what is the problem that the MOA Academy of Applied Philosophy is actually solving, it will be more aligned with the definition once I have that articulated and captured in writing or recording or something like that. It talks about assessment and evaluation, qualitative versus quantitative, things like that. These are the basics that we have to understand. These are the things that we got to start at for the young, up and coming scholar. Gotta understand the basics before we go into more advanced spaces and things like that. We gotta understand the basics. So yeah, I'm gonna delve deep into this course. The premiere of the podcast is coming up on the 23rd. You know what I mean? We're going to actually get into some things that I actually feel about, namely white supremacy, whiteness, that concept, how to demystify it. Yeah, how to demystify it. So stay tuned, like, subscribe, hit the notification or whatever. You know what I mean? If you rock with me. These are for the folks that's on the ground level with me. Watch as we grow up from here. Oh, by the way, it's like 4:45 a.m. right now. That's why I sound kind of groggy. But yeah.